With the CeeDee Lamb injury, the talk of the town has been George Pickens. But is Jake Ferguson really Trey McBride in disguise? Let's find out. On this chart, it appears that there's a lot going on, but it's really quite simple. On the left-hand side, or the y-axis, we have yards per route run. This is essentially how efficient a receiver or tight end is with their opportunities. On the x-axis, or at the bottom of the chart, we see targets per route run. This shows us volume for that player and how targeted they are when they run routes. On the very right-hand side, we see the first read targets a player is receiving from their quarterback. This is important because these are one of, if not the most valuable opportunities for fantasy production at the position. The size of the bubble correlates with how many routes that player runs. The larger the bubble, the more time they are running routes. The dotted line signifies the league average for yards per route run and targets per route run. This helps us establish who is over or underperforming in the league. Now, I anchored the baseline data on this chart to the league. This way we can compare apples to apples when looking at other teams. Now, let's get into it. As we look at the chart, this tells us two things. First is that George Pickens has been the third receiving option in this offense, not second like we originally thought. He also hasn't been very effective with the opportunities that he's received, sitting at around the league average in yards per route run. The positive with Pickens is that he is on the field and running routes at one of the highest rates in the NFL. I do believe Pickens will still see an increase in opportunities, which should result in an increase in fantasy points, even if he is inefficient with those opportunities. But based on this data, Jake Ferguson should be the main benefactor of CeeDee Lamb missing time. Will we see a Trey McBride to Marvin Harrison Jr. situation with Ferguson being the alpha and Pickens playing second fiddle? Well, let's look at Arizona to see how similar the actual data looks. As you can see, Pickens runs significantly more routes than Marvin Harrison Jr. because he is on the Dallas offense. So this is great news for him if his opportunities increase regardless of his efficiency. But what this does tell us is that if Jake Ferguson's opportunities increase, that we could see a Trey McBride level of tight end production on this offense. I don't know what will happen, but I will be watching that Dallas game closely this week. And all I do know is that if Jake Ferguson is available in your league on waivers, he needs to be rostered. If you are deciding if you should start him or not, he looks like a smash start to me. I will be doing more of these breakdowns as the season goes on. So if you like what you heard, don't forget to subscribe. If not, I just appreciate you listening and hanging out. Now go steal a championship.